Okay, so it's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a little bit. It's been like 7 months. Um, it's been six. Okay, so it's been a minute. It's been a little bit. It's been like I don't 6 or 7 months or something, right? If I'm being honest, I just have not like felt creative whatsoever. However, I think the way to feel creative is to get done with the projects that I need to get done with. And then once they are done, I feel like I'll have more creative juices flowing because then instead of it's like, oh, I got to go back to that project or go back to this project, instead it's like, oh, I get to start something new and I get to make something new, which is what I want to do. So the real reason this live stream exists is because I want to make a Peacemaker helmet, but I have to do a lot of other stuff before I can do that, which is okay, which is fine. So we're gonna see how common these will be. I'll probably lie at the end of this and say, "See you next week." Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We'll see if that happens. But what are we doing today? Today we are making a gauntlet. We are making an old school knight hand. A gauntlet that would be like oh wow, this is something a knight would have. So we have our glove filled with rice because I didn't want to have to use my fingers all the time. So this is going to be fairly easy. We're going to put a foam strip here on the inside of the finger, foam strip on the inside of the finger, and then we are going to make, uh, first of all, little things that go over it. You'll see. You'll see once we get started. Gosh, it's been so long since I've done this. I need to remember what all I need to grab. I definitely need a ruler. Definitely need a ruler. Definitely need a piece of paper. It does not actually have to be big, so I can use this kind of cardstock stuff. Um, we're gonna kind of make a generic shape here. It doesn't have to be crazy. It's not to be wild. All right. People probably don't even know I do this anymore. Like really. Like honestly. You know what I mean? Like it's been a hot second. It's been a minute. Anyways. All right. Length of index finger from there to there. We'll call it 3 inches. 3 inches. No. We will call it that 3 1/4 inches. 3 1/4. All right, very cool. By how thick does it really need to be? About a half inch. A little more than a half inch should be fine. So a little bit over a half inch. Gives us a little bit of playing room. Oh yeah, it does. Black foam. It needs a silver Sharpie. I have those. Why? Because I shop at TNT Cosplay Supply. This is not a ad read for them. It's just the truth. And then I'm actually going to end up using a gold Sharpie and not a TNT Sharpie because I couldn't find it. Haha. So, oh yeah, gold does not show up on silver at all. Which means we're not going to use black foam today. We're going to use red foam. Very cool. Alright, sweet. Alright, making a glove. Only took me 3 minutes to get to this point. Incredible. So it needs to be basically that long. 3 1/4 inches, what we decided on. Foam doesn't have to be perfect. That's the cool part about foam. It can be sort of like straight enough. It can be the shape enough that we need it to be, and it will be good. Let's just do one finger, and we'll see how that looks. Cool. That plus that means all I need now is contact cement. Where's the mask? Right there. Alright, right on. Okie dokie, artichoke. Okay. This is roughly what we're going for. Oh, you can't see this, never mind. Roughly what we're going for. Alright, so we're gonna need at least 5 for each finger. Okay, so let's try this. Length of the finger. 2 inches seems good. Okay, 2 inches. 1 inch. Makes that center. We're getting there. We are getting a pattern figured out. Yeah, what's up?
I was just checking how your practice was going.
It's going well.
Awesome. Okay, so you have like, you're less than a week. Right at a week?
Right at a week.
Right at a week. Awesome. Okay. Well, I was just seeing if you had any helpful hints for the newbie.
Who's the newbie?
Me-ish. So why do I keep like mangling my lines? I have a line that says, "Oh, she can do what she wants. You heard her. You can do what she can do what she wants."
I'm on Facebook right now. I'm finally building something after months. How about I call you later, okay?
Sure.
All right, bye. Love you. All right. I really hate how this drawing is going so far. It's really bad. It's really bad. Let's see. Two inches might just be too far. I'm gonna cut it out. We'll see how it looks. Actually, not too bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Alright, so I think we have our pattern. Let's go ahead and trace it out. Alright, so right now. Alright, so what we're doing, building a kind of a knight, old-timey gauntlet thing right here. Okay. What am I making? What am I making? I am making an old-timey sort of night gauntlet. So we got my glove full of rice because that's just what's necessary to do this sort of thing. Um, a night gauntlet, the fingers, or specifically making the fingers here, are basically a bunch of little circles, a bunch of little round bits. Um, so it's sort of just going to look like this. It's going to have a bunch of like these on it, right? And that's just going to sort of trail down the entire finger going up. It'll make more sense once we get there. So uh, basically this whole thing, this like putting a piece of foam here, the idea behind that is that I'm going to need that. I don't think I'm going to need that, if I'm being honest with you. I think these are going to stick to the glove just fine. So I think that is incredibly unnecessary. So we're going to peel it off now. The only reason we could do that is because, I don't know, reasons, science, math, chemicals, I don't know how it works. Yeah, I think it's pretty unnecessary. So we're just going to make a ton of these little guys and put them along each finger. And that is sort of, kind of how night gauntlet hands, whatever you want to call them, work. That's how they look. That's how they look in the pictures. Anyways, so yeah, we're basically just going to cut out a million of these. Now, there's another way to build these gloves, these night gloves, without this technique. However, we're doing this technique, although it's very tedious and time-consuming. It's overall easier to do, and it will give us a look that is comparable and or the same as what we would have gotten if we would have done the other technique to make these. The other technique making 3 individual pieces, or 2 pieces for the thumb and the pinky in their case, and you would make these little pieces that basically go tip of the finger, middle of the finger, bottom of the finger, and that would be the hand. That gives it a more Tony Stark, Iron Man-esque hand look. This will give it more of a bulky night look. Either one would be fine once it's spray painted silver, but we want to do this one because it's easier. So why have something look like something else when it doesn't need to look that way, when it's easier to do it this way, and it'll be comparable, / you could even say more accurate or better. This would be definitely more accurate to the overall style of the armor we're making. So yeah, man, what a beautiful day out there today. So I think I have now enough for one finger. So I am going to cut out a few more. I don't want to use our master copy. Can I get one more out of this piece of foam? Heck yeah, I can. Sweet. I actually want to get 2 more out of this piece of foam. No, I don't. For many people that I've met since I've last done one of these, it has been a hot second, and they probably would be like, what are you doing in general? We don't even know what you're doing. I haven't done this in so long. Haven't made anything in so long. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And of course, why go live on YouTube or Twitch when I would much rather have my Facebook friends know what's going on and all that jazz, you know? That just gets straight up thrown away. But yes, that is what I'm making. Any other questions come up, let me know. I'm about to put a mask on for a little bit so I don't breathe in toxic chemicals. Because we're going to be putting them all down like this. And because they're going to be layered, this should work. This should work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll build something else. Build it the way I was talking about before. If this does work, then we're good. We're good to go. I really hope people can hear me. I assume they can hear me, but I don't know. Mm. Mm. Just gonna step up and over out of camera shot, aka out of smelling the toxic glue shot. To explain really quick, uh, I'm making it for Doctor Doom. So Doctor Doom, a Marvel comic book character, I'm sure you already know, has a very old school Englishy Germany knight style armor that he wears. And the majority of pictures I saw with him kind of had gloves like these, so that's what we're going with. So yeah, that's what I am. That's what I'm making it for. A Doctor Doom costume. Not for me, for somebody else.
Because, I mean, I can talk with this thing on my face. It'll just sound like this, which is probably what I'll do for the rest of the time this is drying. While it's drying, however, we can cut out. We can actually do it on every finger here. We can actually do this and get the whole hand ready to go here. Actually. This one, this is this here. Alright. So we got 4 of those dry. So I would probably get more commissions if I wasn't so slow. So when I think it was the last year I think it was 2019 or 2018, was the years I got like the most commissions, and I did have really low prices. I didn't realize what my time was worth at that time, so my prices were lower, which was wrong with me. And also, I was making things way faster, like way faster. This armor that I've been working on for this guy, and to be fair, it is a full-size piece of armor, and I am making it to fit somebody else, which is very difficult. Um, has taken me almost 2 years, and I've also worked on my own projects while I'm working on this. So I think if I don't know. It kind of depends. So yeah, I do get a good amount of commissions, but
I've had commissions off on like my Instagram profile. Like I had not accepting commissions for almost 2 years now. So because that's right there on my Instagram profile, no one's messaged me about commissions. I could probably start a waiting list, but it's just been so long since I've had time to work on stuff. Normally I do get a lot though. I think at my height I finished around 6 or 7 commissions in a year, and pulled in, again, not as much as I should have, probably around $1,000 for all of them, which is pretty cool. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the first one went on pretty well. I think that means the rest will also go on very well as well. I'm excited. I'm very excited. Ah, I just had a realization. Cool. Very cool. Okay, nice. Cool, cool, cool. So what was my realization? What did I just realize? I realized that in order for the design to make sense, I have to put the piece on the fingertips first, not the base of the finger, because it has to overlap. So, you live and you learn. That's okay. I don't think we can remove this piece. This piece is going to be that way. I don't think he'll notice. Um, I'm just kidding. He'll obviously notice. I'll just say, hey, whoopsie daisies. Hopefully that's alright. Um, it's not a big deal though. The index finger on the left hand, not a very big deal, I don't think. Very minuscule. Very minuscule. We are allowed some room for error. I just have to wait for these to dry, but I can cut out some more, which is cool. All right, let's go ahead and check on the glue. Nice. That looks pretty good. That looks good. Oh, look at that. That's so cute.
Isn't that just precious? So, what was just accomplished? We now have fingertips on the glove. I think this kind of helps us measure out how many more we need for each finger as well. So I assume it's going to be roughly about 4 for the index, which is pretty solid, and then which means this guy should be about 5 roughly. Yeah, I could try to stretch 4 out of it, but 5 is better. 5 for like the middle finger, so it's going to be probably about 4. Whatever. So this is basically how the finger is going to look. It's going to have all these little pieces. And then foam, being flexible, movement is not a big worry for it. Or at the very least, I'm going to choose to ignore that, like any good engineer would when they design something. So, yeah, pretty easy, fairly simple process. You see what I mean? It's just much easier to make a bunch of the same copy, glue them all on. Tedious as it is, it's super easy, super easy. So, yeah. Yeah. Just get to gluing, huh? It's just gonna be a ton of gluing. Just one at a time. Each finger slowly gonna be made. So nice. Where'd my mask go? It's on the ground. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves, because I've got this mask on while I'm gluing. So yeah, go nuts.
Okay. Yeah, it should look pretty cool. It should be alright. I can't wait to see how well I can actually move in this thing, but we'll see how it works. We'll see how it goes. Just waiting for my nails to dry. Ha 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 ha. That wasn't very funny. I really like how that looks. Man, oh man, I really like how that looks. So you see what we're doing here? The first one, second one, all that stuff. Eventually it's going to be a full finger, or a full glove, a full hand. It's going to look, it's going to look cool. It's going to look really cool. I think if we can crank out all the fingers in about an hour, that's pretty good. It just shows you how slow this takes. Because I have to wait for the contact cement to dry. Well, not dry, but not be wet. Dry, I guess. Last one's taking a little too long to dry a little bit. The pinky's probably going to be like 3. It's going to be a weird looking 3 probably too. Well, how's everything going? What's up? What's going on? How's it hanging? By all means.
All right. Those are the first two on the finger. You can still move it, right? Oh yeah, you can still move it. Might look a little weird, but you can still do everything you want to do. Okay. Now we need 1, 2, 3, 4 times a few more. I'm just going to cut out the remainder because it's easier to talk, obviously, like this. I'll glue on my own time. I'll just cut out all the pieces I need to cut out so I can just go ahead and start gluing the next time. We have a fairly good base copy. Everybody can see what that looks like. Then I can measure out. Thumb pieces are going to have to be a lot bigger though too. Anyways, our core copy. It's probably better to not take the copy from this foam copy since it can mush and move around, but it's easier. So, is it the best way to do it? No. But, it's also not the worst, which means it's okay. People think, ah yes, the life of a craftsman. Your craft is your perfection, something you've boiled down to a science. Actually, my craft is something I love doing. I love doing it. But I'm not going to make it any harder on myself than it absolutely has to be. It's not some, oh wow, it's beautifully masterful and intricate. Actually, it's get it done as cheaply and fastly as I possibly can. That's the real truth. And that's what most people who consider themselves craftsmen do. It's what they almost all do. So don't be fooled by people that are like, ah, yes, mastered my craft, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. No, they definitely make it for as cheap as possible. You know, even if they work with like gold or some crap, then I mean, if you work with gold or something, then you don't have to make it as cheap as possible. Somebody else is definitely paying you a ton of money to make that. So you just gotta say, whatever. But when it comes to like material crafts like this, making it for as cheap as possible just makes sense. I think I'm just gonna make an infinite number of these because it probably still won't end up being enough. Probably around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You make at least 5. 5 times 3, 15. Then I only need to make 3 for this one. 15. I need to make at least 30. 33, 6. And I'm going to just do 2 huge ones for the thumb. 6, 4, 40. I need to make 40 pieces. Awesome. So 30 of these. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 are already done. That's a lie. 11 are already done. We're almost halfway there. But yeah. It's going pretty well. For those stopping in, we're making a Ye Olde Knight Gauntlet. I can't wait to make one of these for myself, actually. I'm very excited to do that. I'll be using the exact same technique. People will be like, oh wow, you only try to make it as quickly and cheaply as possible because someone's paying for it. No. No, if I was going to wear this, I would also be making this as quickly and cheap as possible. Sometimes not as quick. To be fair, I work very slow. So my quick is different than other people's quick. Is this entertaining? Is the ramblings of a crazy person entertaining for you to watch? Oh, good lord, it's almost 5 whatever. Putting a hard stop to this at 5:30. Because then I do actually have to get going. Alright, right on. Did I miss making things on stream? Absolutely. Do I miss the silence and awkwardness that it is when you don't talk to me? No. That was just a little bit of guilt tripping. So you either left, or you're actually going to type something now. Or you're going to do neither because you like to see me lose my mind. let me just start out. I'm gonna YouTube channel recommend. If you like to watch people make things and like the cynicalness of the way I'm being right now, you should check out the YouTube channel Michael Reeves. This kid, and yeah, he's a kid. He's younger than I am. Now I'm realizing that being younger than me is no longer a feat, and I feel very old. Anyways, he's really good. We had someone leave. We had someone leave, which means they just got to that part. It's hilarious. Anyways, on to this YouTube channel recommendation here. This kid, Michael Reeves, makes robots. Like he programs, he's into programming, he's into like code and all that jazz, and he's into like technology, so he makes robots that can like do stuff. It's really cool. As someone who is not a robotist, whatever you want to call it, type guy, has no interest in being one, I think it's really neat. And seeing the process of making a robot is really cool. I like just kind of how he builds them. I think that's really the coolest part. I think that looks really dope because, you know, they still like, they don't all look like a robot. They all look very functional. I guess we'll say functional. Like if it shoots a BB gun, it has a BB gun, it has a bunch of wires, and it just shoots it. It's not some big statuesque robot dude with arms and legs and stuff that can shoot it. No point for that, you know. It's like saying I made a robot that can reheat food. Yeah, it's a microwave. It doesn't need arms, legs, and a body to be a microwave. You know what I mean? So, anyways, so he makes really cool robots. I like the ghetto way that he brings them together. The ghetto way he'll make other inventions is just really, really cool. And I've never really been an inventor myself, but as someone who likes to make things, try to bring things to life, someone that makes crafts is really just a sculptor slash artist slash painter in their own way. So really, technically, I would have more in common with someone with a paintbrush or clay than I would have in common with somebody that makes robots, is more of an engineer, designing type person. But he is insanely fun to watch, and although I realize that everybody watching me right now is watching me to see me make something, or maybe to see me just ramble to myself, and I do hope that the comment section works. I know I got a few comments 27 minutes ago, Megan, but that's okay. Talking to myself's all right, because sometimes that's the only person who will listen. All right. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 done. 8 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. We have 18 done. Oh, we're over halfway there. Awesome. Anybody watching anybody good shows lately? I just gave you my YouTube channel recommendation. I would say check out Michael Reeves if you like the way I'm cynically talking right now. You like to see people make stuff. I would check out Michael Reeves. Any good TV shows going on? I do know the two most popular TV shows, at least in the nerd realm, the streaming service realm, are Peacemaker and The Mandalorian. And I am much more of a comic book guy. I will say I'm more of a Marvel guy, but I was absolutely sold on Peacemaker's character by the end of Suicide Squad, so I am heavily enjoying the Peacemaker series. Now, I will take away heavily. There's a lot of jokes in it that are very much like, oh, James Gunn thought this was funny. It's not actually funny, but James Gunn thought it was funny, so he put it in the movie. In Guardians of the Galaxy 2, there's a lot of jokes like that where it's like kind of awkward, like, okay, like it's not like funny, but sure, like that kind of humor. There is some humor that's inappropriate, which I'm just like, you just put it in there to have it there. Like, are you serious? Goodness gracious. And it's like, tries to use inappropriate humor to like relieve tension or whatever, but really it makes you look like an immature child. James Gunn is an immature child. And I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Love the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Second one was not bad. Wasn't great, but not bad. But Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was probably the first Marvel movie that I walked out of the theater being like, that movie kind of sucked. I thought all the Marvel movies were just going to be good. But Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is very much like an awakening where I was like, oh, that's I didn't really like that movie, you know. The cool thing about these is that they don't have to be perfect. These are not lining up perfectly, which is okay. They don't have to be perfect because they don't need to be totally symmetrical. They just need to be kind of the same shape, which is nice. Oh no, I just have black foam left, and I can't use a black Sharpie on black foam, so this piece is too small to do anything with. Nope, it's 3:30, so we're done. Cool. So, this is the part of the live stream where I lie to your face. I lie directly to you. Right on. Nice, Cal. I'm 3 episodes into Peacemaker. I think I've tried to watch Jack Reacher, if that's the one with Jack Krasinski. I've tried to watch that before on Prime, and it's kind of slow for my taste. I don't know if that's Jack Reacher, if that's somebody else, but there's like something, you know. But right on. Anyways, we are done. This is the part of the show where I lie to you and I tell you that I'll be here next week. Actually, I might not try to do a weekly basis. I might just try to do it whenever I possibly can, which might end up being every week. It might be once a day for a while, honestly, because I need to make stuff. Taking this 45 minutes out of my day to make sure I did nothing but work on this stuff is huge. It'll help me get a lot of projects done. It'll help me stay moving, stay motivated, because only an hour, just an hour at it every day, you can get so much work done. It's crazy. But yeah, I do have to be getting ready to take off here. So I'll leave you guys. Try to stay creative in whatever you do. And, you know, like always, I'll see you next